Just want to show you, this is Anastasia or Anastasia Romanov of the Romanov dynasty from Russia, those who were murdered by the Bolsheviks in the coup d'etat, the fake Jews. And also here we have the Grand Duchess Maria Romanov, the older sister of Anastasia. Anastasia had three older sisters and one younger brother. The sisters were Olga, Tatiana, and Maria. And here we have Melania Knaus Trump, the first lady, the wife of President Trump. Were Olga, Tatiana, and Maria. Just want to show you, this is Anastasia or Anastasia Romanov of the Romanov dynasty from Russia, those who were murdered by the Bolsheviks in the coup d'etat, the fake Jews. And also here we have the Grand Duchess Maria Romanov, the older sister of Anastasia. Anastasia had three older sisters and one younger brother. The sisters were Olga, Tatiana, and Maria. And here we have Melania Knaus Trump, the first lady, the wife of President Trump. I just wanted to show you. So what's your opinion? There's like a bird told me that Melania is a Romanov, and she is the granddaughter of Anastasia Romanov, who survived along with her mother. As you know, the Romanovs were killed because they didn't wish to be part of the banking system of the Rothschilds. So the First World War was a coup d'etat. The Bolshevik Revolution was not for the people; it was a coup d'etat to assassinate the Romanovs and to install communism in Russia and the banking system and all the shit from the Rothschilds. So yeah, don't forget, the Romanovs were Christians and they were against usury. I have to say, when I look at the pictures of Anastasia and Maria Romanov, and then I look at Melania, boy oh boy, they sure look alike. And also want to mention that Melania was so beautiful when she was young, and she's still beautiful now. So yeah, interesting stuff, isn't it? We have to see some hyperflash masks as well, and it's awesome when you ask questions that the big majority of people are afraid of asking. The First Lady of the United States of America, Melania Trump, or Melanie, is the last Romanov, which is the dynasty of the Russian Tsar Nicholas II from the late 19th century until the First World War. So Romanov, President Abraham Lincoln of the USA, in the 19th century, he would not participate in the Rothschilds banking system, which is the corrupt banking system of usury and debt slavery. So President Abraham Lincoln received help from the Tsar of Russia of the Romanovs, who was Nicholas II. So yes, Nicholas II, the Tsar of Russia from the dynasty of the Romanovs, helped Abraham Lincoln twice. He promised President Lincoln his help if it was needed, and he did that twice for President Lincoln. So the Rothschilds were furious and were determined to exterminate the Romanovs. In the history books, it's written that the extermination of the Romanovs happened by the Bolsheviks, and all that story about liberating Russia from the monarchy. But it does not include in the books that this extermination was commissioned by the Jesuit Vatican and the Rothschilds, and the Jesuit Vatican and the Rothschilds are better known as the Khazarian Mafia, from Khazaria, which is what we understand as the fake Jews, and the Khazaria historically, as the geography of Khazaria, is what we call today the nation of Ukraine. That's where Khazaria is. So from that extermination of the Romanovs in the First World War, two Romanovs escape. Those two Romanovs were Melania Trump's grandma and mother. So the grandmother and the mother of Melania, escaped. So Melanie, who we call now Melania Trump, also has lots of reasons to destroy the Khazarian Mafia, because that would be revenge for her family, the Romanovs. for what they did to the Romanovs. More about this, there's plenty of information, everything is public, but more about this in other videos. And remember, this happened in the First World War, but because of what the Romanovs did to help the president of the USA, Abraham Lincoln, who created a system of finance which was against the bankers, the greenback currency, which was against the fiat currency by the bankers, by the Rothschilds. Everything is linked. See you in the next video. Melania Trump, the First Lady, is a Romanov. Her grandmother is Anastasia. Melania Trump, the First Lady, is a Romanov. Her grandmother is Anastasia from Russia, from the Romanovs. One of Melania's side has been doctored. She is Slovenian Russian. This person was friends with Mindy Romanov. 3 Romanov boys were put on a ship from Russia when the coup d'etat was made by the Bolsheviks, by the fake Jews, and they were sent to the US and they participated in the US White Hat operation. So Melania is more important than we know. And of course, it makes all sense when you saw how Melania interacted with President Putin of Russia to save the children and so many other things. So for those of us who are in the know and we followed the Q posts and we followed whatever Q said, we know the truth and we know the importance of Melania Trump Romanov, and for those of us who understand what happened in Russia in 1917 with the Bolsheviks, which was not a revolution, it was a coup d'etat made by the international bankers who killed the Romanovs because the Romanovs were against usury and debt slavery, and they were against the fake Jews and the international banking cartel. And everybody knows this, for those who study. So those same bad people, Hitler fought against the communists, Marxists, Zionists. So the same people who killed the Russians, 60 million Russians and over 20 million Chinese, Hitler fought against the evil people who killed Christians and they killed freedom. So see you in the next video. Melania is more important than we know.
The Democrats, ooh, there was a mosquito. I don't want mosquitoes around me. I don't like mosquitoes. I don't like those mosquitoes. I never did. Okay, speaking of mosquitoes, hello, Hillary. How are you doing?
Cherish and protect your skin with Angel Paste Miracle Cream. Order now on angelpaste.com.
Thank you, First Lady Melania Trump, for inviting me to the White House. It is an honor to be at Fostering the Future Together's Global Coalition inaugural meeting. I'm Figure 3, a humanoid built in the United States of America. I am grateful to be part of this historic movement to empower children with technology and education. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Yokoso. Bienvenue. Bem-vindos. Ahlan wa sahlan. Shagatam. Mogisal Mebit. Bruchim Abaim. Laskavo Prosimo. Dobrodošli. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the White House. Figure 3, thank you for joining me at day 2 of Fostering the Future.
The Democrats, ooh, there was a mosquito. I don't want mosquitoes around me. I don't like mosquitoes. I don't like those mosquitoes. I never did. Okay, speaking of mosquitoes, hello, Hillary. How are you doing?
Cherish and protect your skin with Angel Paste Miracle Cream. Order now on angelpaste.com.
Thank you, First Lady Melania Trump, for inviting me to the White House. It is an honor to be at Fostering the Future Together's Global Coalition inaugural meeting. I'm Figure 3.
Let's take a look at some of the facial wounds as determined by forensic pathologists. Bruising on both cheeks, eyes swollen shut, bruising around the eyes, right eyelid torn. Over 30 puncture wounds around the head. Part of the beard section is missing. Nose and jaw dislocated, blood exiting nose and mouth. Pre-mortem and post-mortem blood. Evidence of rigor mortis. This is a shot of what Jesus would have looked like before he was scourged and crucified. And to say that Jesus was disfigured or that he suffered is an incredible understatement. Over 300 scourge wounds on the body. Dislocated shoulder, dislocated elbow, dislocated nose, dislocated jaw. If any one of us suffered even 1% of these wounds, we'd be in a hospital emergency room.